We finally made it. Had to go to the barbershop, had to do a couple other things, but you know what time it is. Better late than never. We got Super Mario playing in the background. You know what I'm saying? The winged cap music when Mario put on the cap and he just start flying and going everywhere. You know what I'm saying? This that Super Nintendo groove right here. Hey, We grooving to that Super Nintendo juice. You feel me? But let me go ahead and switch it up though, because you already know what that could come with. What that could potentially do. We're going to put some funk on. You know what I'm saying? We're going to put some funky shit on in the background while we get ready for this. While we break down the weed and get into what we're going to get into today. We had a very good episode of Block Talk last night. And we're going to be talking about voting a lot. You know, it's not going to be like a one-off thing because it's just too large of a topic to cover in an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. You feel me? Like, you got to talk a whole lot, you feel me? Oh yeah, don't they have I think I don't know if she's here now, but Distracted Gardener, she was telling me, she was mentioning a new Mario game coming out, and I hope it does. I hope they do, because the Mario games are always fun, and not only are the Mario games always fun, but honestly, man, Nintendo doesn't make that good of games anymore. Like, other than their classics like Zelda, Super Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, like all of that, like Nintendo, man, it's like when GameCube came out, it's like Nintendo just kind of like, they still dope, like, you feel me? But there's so many awesome games that are on Xbox and PlayStation, but they're not on Nintendo. They're not on Switch. You feel me? Like, so it's a whole bunch of games you can play on either or, but you can't play them on Nintendo. And I guess it's not bad. It's not bad that Nintendo is kind of more geared towards kids. But I just feel like, I don't know, man. I just feel like the console isn't like a computer station the same way the Xbox is, Xbox and PlayStation. Like, I don't know. I feel like Nintendo made some mistakes in what they chose to not do with their console. I remember they didn't go HD for a while, which was a big deal back in the day. Now everything's HD. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just like, but before we got to, I mean, GameCube still has some stuff, but that's kind of, again, when Nintendo just kind of started falling off. And then once the Wii came out, it was like, damn, man, can y'all put some like grown-up games on this motherfucker? Jesus. But again, at the end of the day, Zelda, and the new Zelda too, the Tears of the Kingdom, the newest Zelda is such a good game, man. And y'all see, I put it up in the shorts. I made a Gatling gun, an automatic Gatling gun that just does everything for me. But yeah, man, they really missed a lot of opportunities. But let's go ahead. Hold on, I'm trying to see what we gonna smoke to, because you know you got to be careful with the algorithm, guys. You got to be careful with them. Now, let's go ahead and take this hit and get into the right drive-by link vid. Oh yeah, but I got the drive-by link, and then I put one up with the Gatling gun. But yeah, Nintendo 64, that shit was cool as hell. And I got a Switch. But yeah, the classics. But other than the classics, they just were like, we're not gonna make anything else. Cheers to all of y'all. Drive by in the kingdom of Hyrule. We got George in the building. Hello. We got Brother Vincent in the building. I mean, there's so many good Zelda games, but the Majora's Mask, man, that shit. Majora's Mask was just a cool game. That was a really cool game. All right, now let's see. What are we gonna start with? Let's see. We're starting with the UAW strike. I'm just trying to see which article I should pull up. All right, I'll pull this up from Reuters. We'll start here. Distracted Gardener, hello. Hey, when we came in, we had the Mario theme playing, and I'm pretty sure it was you who mentioned that there's a new or supposedly. Yeah, there we go. That's the Mario Wonder. I'm looking forward to it too. Yo, the Mario games are fun, man. Like those games, they're cool. They cool as hell. I remember I think the last really cool one I played was, I don't know. I don't remember if it was on the Wii or if it was on the GameCube, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. We got Jolie's in the building. Hello. Ford workers to return to work as UAW turns to GM and Stellantis. Ford auto workers were set to begin heading back to work after the United Auto Workers Union reached a tentative labor deal with the company late Wednesday. Ford was the first of Detroit's big three car manufacturers to negotiate a settlement to strikes joined by 45,000 workers since mid-September, a deal that will likely set a pattern for reaching deals with General Motors and Chrysler parent Stellantis. The UAW met on Thursday morning with GM and was to meet with Stellantis later in the day. Sources briefed on the matter say GM and the UAW are fairly close on economic issues. The Ford agreement, which still must be ratified by union members, includes a 25% wage hike over the life of the 4.5-year contract, a boost in retirement contributions, and the elimination of lower pay tiers for workers in certain parts operations at Ford. It also reduces the time to get to top pay from 8 to 3 years. So that's pretty significant. And the UAW won the right to strike over plant closures. UAW told Ford workers they will return to work before ratification. Ford is beginning calling back workers as it works to restart its 3 assembly plants that were on strike. All right, let's see. Where were we? Okay. The Ford contract stands as a significant victory for labor, one of many reached this year as workers have walked out or threatened strikes in various industries such as rail, entertainment, shipping, and casinos. One big issue remains the fate of battery plant workers, which the UAW did not discuss in outlining the deal on Wednesday. Last month, Ford CEO Jim Farley accused the UAW of holding the labor deal hostage in a bid to force the automaker to pay workers at new battery plants the same top wages as workers at assembly plants. Strikes work. Strikes work, my friends. And we're going to see a whole lot more of them. We got to strengthen unions in the country. Oh, the companies are collectively, hold on. Okay, it says the agreement reverses concessions the union agreed to in a series of contracts since 2007, when GM and the former Chrysler were skidding toward bankruptcy, and Ford was mortgaging assets to stay afloat. But it is still less than the 40% pay hike, 32-hour work week, and return of defined benefit pensions the UAW initially sought. But you got to shoot high, and they got some pretty significant increases. The deal amounts to total pay hikes of more than 33% when compounding and cost of living mechanics are factored in. Quote, "We know it breaks records," UAW President Shawn Fain said in a video address Wednesday night. "We know it will change lives, so what happens next is up to you all." Here we go. Strikes work. And two, as we've talked about, now is, I mean, it's always a good time for the working class to come together and for the majority to come together. But now is especially a ripe time to do so because we're at the end of an era. We're kind of coming to a close of the Bill Clinton era. That whole roster of politicians, they're getting ready to retire or pass away. And the same goes for people in positions in corporate America. Uh, so there's a lot of opportunity for us to continue to come together and make things happen. Trump acknowledges Maine shooting, immediately goes on unrelated posting binge. I did nothing wrong. Okay. So he comes in and he says, a terrible situation going on in Maine, at least 22 dead. It just seems to never end for the USA. And of course, I mean, it's not as if Republicans want to do anything whatsoever about gun violence in the country. And anytime they mention mental health issues, they do nothing about that either. So, and then he went on to say, well, wait, uh, 12 minutes later, Trump posted, okay, hold on. It's just a little stupid video he posted, making it look like he's hard at work and Joe Biden, which again, there's plenty of criticism to give to Joe Biden, but he just some video making it look like I'm hard at work. I'm the man in charge. I have everything under control, but not Joe Biden. Like, no, you have things less under control than Joe Biden does. Oh, Jenny Jupiter, thank you so much for being a member for 1 month. I'm glad that I saw that. Thank you for being here. It looks like we started this stream just on time. I had some stuff going on a bit earlier, but we're here now. Thank you for being a member, and thank you to all the rest of the members. I'm looking forward to keeping things moving. Okay, so then up here, here we. Oh my God, how long is this? Okay, so he said, I'm gonna read it on this other site, but it's still right there, so it don't really matter. You can see it mostly. He says, the New York State Attorney General's case against me is dead. No, it's not. But the radical left judge refuses to end it. What does that even mean? How is it dead if the judge won't end it? He just can't let it go. Their star witness lied like a dog on the stand today and then admitted that I did nothing wrong, a total sleazebag. Letitia James should focus on violent crime, which is out of control. So unfair. It's so unfair. I don't even get a jury trial. A blight on the New York State judicial system. Businesses are watching all over the world and never coming in, only moving out. Yes, nobody wants to be in New York City. Absolutely no one needs that. No one wants to live here. Oh, okay, Trump, shut up. The governor should get involved. Election interference by my political opponent. I don't really understand how do his supporters stomach him? I mean, I guess that's a goofy question to ask, but it's just like all he does is whine and complain and play the victim and act like a little baby, and they just won't let him go. It's just right, exactly. Radical equals doesn't agree with me. Donald Trump, he committed very, very dumb crimes throughout his life, became president. He didn't need to become president. So now he's got all these eyeballs on him. Went into office, did a whole bunch of dumb shit like take documents and put them in the, next to the toilet. Had a year and a half to give them back. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna play the victim. Like, bro, he's so ridiculous. Trump knocks judge in New York fraud case after fine. He has gone crazy in his hatred. Like, bro, just shut up. Like, just be quiet. You just got, and again, like, it's like, okay, whatever punishments that you get, they're just gonna keep escalating. I guess that's what he wants. So he's after he got the $10,000 fines. He's
The judge in New York State Attorney General
AG, just in case you didn't know what that stood for.
case refuses to accept the overturning of his decisions by the appeals court. This is the first in the history of the state he has gone crazy in his hatred of Trump.
Like, bro, just shut like because none of this. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I went. It's amazing. It is amazing what a nice shape up can do. You know what I mean? Because I need my dreads done too, but a nice shape up, a tape or a lining, man, it can do wonders for you. But yeah, yes, thank you. But yeah, no, this dude, man, like, bruh, just be quiet. Like, nothing you're saying is making a difference. Like, you trying so hard. Like, you come out of the courtroom and you run your mouth, you say all of these things, you post all over True Social, but like, what difference is it making for you? And how is this going to make people who aren't rabid Republicans want to vote for you? I'm sorry, bro, but a whole nother year, over a year left of this crap from Donald Trump, it's not going to make more people want to vote for him. So just shut up, but he can't do it. He can't do it. Okay, here you go. It says
The radical left judge who should not
because I guess technically he can talk. He can criticize Judge Engoron technically, but it's like,
well, I technically can do it, so I will.
like, oh, you don't have a jury, like, and then this is his civil case. Then you get to his federal cases. Everybody is flipping on him. All of his co-defendants in the Georgia RICO case are flipping on him. And why wouldn't they? Trump flips on everybody that even when he doesn't need to do it. I mean, not that you should go about your life throwing people under the bus, but I'm just saying he doesn't even do it strategically. He doesn't pay people. He blames people for things that are his fault. He just he. And it's like you just broke this gag order twice and you still won't shut up.
The radical left judge who should not be handling the fake and fully discredited case brought against me by a New York State Attorney General. Quote, it should be handled by the commercial division, but should never have been brought.
If it was going to be brought, it should have been handled by the commercial division, but it shouldn't have been brought up just in case, And also, I'm worth so much more than they say. My numbers are, you wouldn't even believe them.
Find me $10,000 under his so-called gag order.
What do you mean so-called gag order? He called the judge
unhinged and a highly political and fully biased Trump hater.
I know y'all seen this. They were like, "Shut up!" They asked Mike Johnson. They was like, "So Mike, talk to us about you pushing the big lie that Donald Trump won the election." I'm like, "Ah, shut up!" And then the little old lady on the side, her smile goes away, and she like, "I still got that fire. I'll still kick your ass, bitch. Shut up. Don't think because I'm old I won't kick your ass, bitch." That's what she said. She said, "Shut up." She was the most rowdy person up there. See, you can't judge a book by its cover, man. You got to be careful with people. You never know who's gonna pick a razor up out their purse and slash you. You feel me? Oh man. Yeah, but yeah, well, Jenny, I'm curious to see what is this speaker really capable of. We know what he stands for. We know some of the things that he said, but is he somebody who actually can pull people together? Is he actually somebody who, you know, um, can he galvanize the Republican Party? I've heard him speak a few times, and he doesn't really seem to have the fervor necessary to really make anybody pay attention to him. We'll see what happens, though. We will see what happens, though. And see, this is what I'm saying, man. Like, bruh, like this dude, how is he gonna get out of this, man? He about to get whatever he about to get fined in his civil case. He gonna get fined a lot of money. I don't know how much it's gonna be exactly. It might be the full 250 million. It might be more. It might be a little bit less. But regardless, he gonna get fined a lot of money. that he really can't afford to lose, because Donald Trump is somebody who just, he wakes up in the morning and he says, today I'm worth $4 billion more than I was worth yesterday. I'm worth exactly $10 billion. Today I'm worth exactly $8 billion. Like, bro, this dude.
Exclusive CNN
Everybody flipping on this dude, man.
reporting on
What if every single last one of his co-defendants flips on him? That's going to be all of them tripping, all of them gonna flip. Why wouldn't they? Why would they not all flip? What reason does any of these people have to not flip on Donald Trump?
Georgia's election subversion case against Donald Trump. Our senior crime and justice reporter, Caitlin Polantz, has been working her sources for us. Caitlin, what are you learning?
Well, Wolf, as we're piecing together what's happening with all 19 defendants in Fulton County, this 2020 election case.
Oh, ZJ, if you talking about, are you talking about Mike Johnson? Is that who you're referring to? I don't know if I don't have hope in him. If that's who you're referring to, I just don't know if he has, if he really, like Kevin McCarthy was speaker, we didn't really see him that much. I mean, all I'm saying is we'll see what type of boisterous leader he is or not. We'll see what he's about. We know what he stands for, but I'm just saying I'm curious to see what he's actually gonna do. That's all I'm saying.
Around Donald Trump, with Donald Trump at the top of the list of defendants, Wolf, we now know that at least.
Oh yeah. No, Mike Johnson, he's gonna be horrible. He's gonna be terrible.
6 co-defendants of Donald Trump have had plea deals put on the table before them, and we're waiting to see what they do.
What's up with this down here in the corner? Look at how I look at, what is it, Trevian Kuti? Look at how she's smiling. Oh, so we got boom, we got 4 of them. Boom. My man's flipped too. Mark Meadows. Man, all these people gonna flip. And the more people that do it, the more encouragement other people will have to not hold out.
Right now, 19 defendants, 4 of them already took plea deals. Those 4 people all agreed to cooperate. That includes some top lawyers. And with those initial plea deals, Sidney Powell's, Jenna Ellis's, Scott Hall's, and Ken Chesbro's, the dominoes then start to fall. And so prosecutors reach out to others, these 6 others, at least 6 other co-defendants, to see if they want to take deals. Those are people like a campaign official, another pro-Trump lawyer. And so we're going to wait and see what happens with them. And when you're looking at these, the prosecutors, as they're trying to get people to plead guilty and take deals, it's good for them because it helps them focus their case against Trump. The more defendants they can pick off from going to trial, they can get these cooperators, get more information. And the defendants, you don't want to be last in line standing. You don't want to be the last one standing going to trial, because you can get a deal that means no jail time. You can get a lot of benefits out of taking a plea deal if you choose to do it early. And so right now, that's where we stand in this case. But we do know from our team of reporters that there are 4 people right now who haven't been offered plea deals in this case that are on the table from Fulton County, Georgia. Those are some of the biggest names in this case: Mark Meadows, Rudy Giuliani, John Eastman, and of course, Donald Trump himself. So no offers of guilty pleas.
I'm still this the one I'm really tripping off of. Like, because Jenna Ellis was smiling. Sidney Powell, now her mugshot, she just looks straight up crazy. Like, you better not take your eyes off of her even for a second. He looked like a priest. He looked like a Catholic priest. I don't know who that is, but he got, maybe we just need to see more of the outfit. Yeah, but she looking a little too crazy. Oh my God, Ray Smith. Oh, he looks, oh no, I'm not trying to be nowhere near Ray Smith. God, oh goodness, he looks frightening.
Please.
What's up with Jeffrey Clark? What face are you making? Look at this dude. He like, chow.
For those 4 from the Georgia prosecutors at this time. Wolf?
All right, Caitlin, stay with us. We got some more questions for you. I also want to bring in our legal analyst, Norm. In the Georgia case, How worried should Trump be about prosecutors discussing potential plea deals now with at least 6 additional co-defendants?
He should be very worried, Wolf, and so should the other individuals who are at the very top of the caption of this indictment: Meadows, Giuliani, Eastman. Because with the 3 plea deals that we have from lawyers who were involved already, they are powerful witnesses against Trump.
Yeah, Ray, what's the name? Ray Smith. You turn that off now. Ray Smith looked like somebody that you just got to get rid of him before he get rid of you. It's just like that simple. Like, it's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, as soon as you get in the room with him, you just know, like, man, this dude got to go. Because if we don't get rid of this dude now, we none of us are waking up tomorrow. And he ain't got no plan. He just like fucking hurting people. That's what he looked like.
And the others, and now 6 more. Fani Willis is masterfully working her way, as we say, up the food chain to the big fish. It should be very anxiety provoking. And I'm looking for the next plea deal to be in the area of those threats and intimidation against the election workers. We haven't seen somebody push there yet. That may be one of the other unnamed targets of a plea deal to build this case out.
Imagine if he had that would be unbelievably hilarious. It absolutely.
Point for Trump. These plea deals are really, really bad news, legal news for him. Joey, of the remaining co-defendants in Georgia who have yet to take a plea deal, whose testimony do you think could potentially be the most damaging to Trump?
Yeah, I think, Wolf, I'd have to put that on the people who did, right? And that is, if you're the attorneys for Donald Trump that are spinning the narrative, we've seen a plea of guilty, right, by Sidney Powell as it relates to breaking into the systems to determine whether there's fraud. None was determined to exist. You see the issue of Cheeseborough as it relates to the fraudulent elector scheme. That's compelling. And then, of course, we saw Jenna Ellis. Why do I raise them? No, they're not remaining, but those are the attorneys, right? And those attorneys are people who were propagating a narrative. Remember, at the outset, this is about RICO, Racketeering Influence Corrupt Organization Act. And so to establish that, not that that's what they pled guilty to, but you're talking about an enterprise, and that enterprise existing for the purposes of sustaining power. So I think prosecutors have a compelling case with them. And I think if the other parties don't get on board with regard to a plea deal, of course, the consequences elevate. And those consequences could mean, unlike these 3, jail. And that would certainly be highly problematic.
Yeah, very important. Caitlin.
Wolf Blitzer. Yeah, very important. All right. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next person now. Make your money, though. What to know about the main mass shooting victims?
Let's talk a little bit more about the manhunt and the angle that law enforcement officials are looking at.
Okay, this is old. And this is just, again, like just regular, normal, everyday people who are, having their lives taken from them because of some loser with a gun who shouldn't have a gun. Some loser who, I'm unhappy, so I'm gonna go kill everybody. Like, your life's so hard. Oh, I'm so sorry for you. Oh. These fucking loser, fucking trash loser motherfuckers who shouldn't have these weapons. Oh, life's so hard. I'm gonna go kill everybody. Oh, like it's so like why how something so just lame and whack and ridiculous is leading to all these people losing their lives over and over again. People running up in schools, running up in churches, running up in supermarkets because I can't get a girlfriend. Like, bruh, like, and again, like it's so stupid because that's really why these motherfuckers be running up in these schools shooting people. because they can't get laid or because they ain't got no friends. So, you know, again, and they talk about this shit online. They publicly spew this bullshit, and then this is a, you know, this primarily is Republicans in the way of anything being done about this. This really is an issue where they're just staunchly in the way of anything ever being done about this. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, your life's so hard that the only thing I can do is go shoot up a school. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Run up in a bowling alley. Bill Brackett, Bob Violet, Stephen Vozella. You know, just regular everyday people. He was a father. Well, he was a kid, rather. So he was part of a gathering of deaf people playing cornhole at this place. And, you know, just regular everyday people. And again, like, and what's so stupid is it's like there's nothing new to say about any of this. Like, there's really not. What can we say that we haven't said? Congress just won't do anything. There's nothing else to be said except we got to get motherfuckers out and put people in who want to do something about this. And, you know, when it comes to common sense gun measures, I guess the silver lining is that the majority of the country is on board with common sense gun reform. You can't get Congress to act, but it's just like, you know, like, what is there? What more is there really to say? You feel me? It's just, it's so fucking stupid, man. And that's what's so frustrating about it, because it's so stupid, you know? I mean, not that there's ever a good reason to go run up somewhere and shoot a bunch of people, but at least you'd think, like, you know, someone ran up there because they've been a victim of something serious, like they live in a war-torn country or something, not just, like, the fuck out of here, man. Mountains of evidence. Attorney General Letitia James hits back at Trump attacks on witness after fireworks at fraud trial. Oh yeah, Fritz, welcome. Yeah, no, we came on late. Well, I mentioned yesterday that I'd be on late, but we good. We rocking.
Good evening, everyone. This has been a 4-year investigation, and there is mountains of evidence which basically corroborate the testimony of a number of witnesses. It's also important to know that Michael Cohen is not the main witness. His evidence has been corroborated by the mountains of evidence, enough evidence to fill the courtroom. And so I look forward again to this trial continuing, and I always look forward to justice. Thank you very much. And let me also remind you that the judge has already made a decision with respect to the summary judgment. There is sufficient evidence to prove that, in fact, Mr. Trump, the Trump Organization, and the other defendants committed widespread fraud.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's already a done deal. They just trying to figure out what exactly is going to be the final charge. You know, how much, or rather, and by charge, I mean, what's the fine going to be? How much is Trump going to have to pay? That's what they got to figure out. What exactly are going to be the consequences? But it's already a done deal. Like, that's why you can come out the courtroom and run your mouth all you want to. You can do that all you want. But it ain't making a difference. It ain't making a difference at all. I agree. I agree. Letitia definitely has a big future in politics. I mean, she really can go in much of whatever direction she'd like. She really could. Federal judge orders new Georgia Congressional Map before 2024 elections. A federal judge in Georgia found today, Thursday, that the state's congressional and legislative maps discriminate against black voters in violation of the Voting Rights Act and ordered the state to draw new maps in advance for next year's congressional elections. In a more than 500-page opinion, Judge Steve C. Jones of the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Georgia gave the state until December 8th to draw new maps before he would step in to appoint someone else to do so. The challenge to the maps has been ongoing for nearly 2 years and is one of several states where court battles are redistricting. Where court battles over redistricting could help tip the balance of power in the closely divided House. The opinion founded that the state violated the VRA by drawing a map that minimized black voters' ability to influence the outcome of elections in 5 of the state's 14 congressional districts, mostly concentrated around Atlanta and northern Georgia. Black voters made up much of the growth in the state in the last 10 years, a change that map makers did not include in the new map, Jones wrote. Quote, by failing to do so, the enacted congressional plan in effect dilutes and diminishes the black population's voting power in that area of the state, Jones wrote. Several civil rights groups, religious organizations, and voters challenged the state's map in 2021 after legislators enacted the plan, arguing it shortchanged black voters. Jones initially sided with the challengers on a preliminary injunction before the 2022 elections, but held off on ordering a new map at the time because the Supreme Court had paused a similar ruling on Alabama's congressional map. Nice. After the Supreme Court sided with the challengers to Alabama's congressional map in a ruling issued earlier this year, Jones allowed the case to proceed. He heard arguments in the trial over the maps last month, with the state arguing it should not be required to draw an additional black majority district just because it was possible to do so. And this is his conclusion. Jones concluded the state's map violated the VRA for 5 congressional districts. The 3rd district held by Republican Rep. Drew Ferguson. The 6th district held by Republican Rep. Rich McCormick. The 11th district held by Republican Rep. Barry Loudermilk. That's an interesting last name. Loudermilk. I need my milk loud. Extra loud. The 13th district held by Democratic Rep. David Scott. And the 14th district held by Republican Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene, the brilliant woman that is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yes, indeed. Experts expect redrawing the districts around Atlanta could result in 1 or more additional districts where Democrats could pick up seats. We'll keep our eyes open. We will keep our eyes peeled and be on the ready for what we must do. Let's see. What shall we do? Okay. I mean, this happened yesterday, but I didn't see this. Apparently he ran out of the court because, again, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can run out the courtroom and say whatever you want to the cameras, but in the courtroom, you really ain't got no leverage. Donald Trump has no leverage, which is his biggest issue. And everybody's flipping on him, which is hilarious. So apparently he stormed out yesterday. Just got up. He just got up. And I was watching something. And I think they said, like, this was right after, I don't remember what they said, but he didn't get his way in some fashion. Like, something didn't go his way, and he just got up and stormed out. Let me go talk to the cameras. Like, okay, bro. Bro, this is hilarious. This dude is losing in court, and then he just gets up and tries to change the narrative to the cameras.
The witness just admitted that we won the trial.
What? This dude abruptly got up and said the judge just admitted that we won the trial. What are you talking about? I mean, like, I'm no lawyer, but I'm pretty sure that's not how things work. Oh, you know what? This is BS. Let's just throw it out. Like,
And the judge and the witness just admitted that we won the trial. And the judge should end this trial immediately. Thank you.
bro, he looks defeated. There was that. I mean, it was so unnecessary. I mean, one, and again, he doesn't even need to be there. From what I know, Donald Trump doesn't need to be at any of these appearances for this particular case. He doesn't need to be here. So, like, this dude came out and said they just admitted that we won the case. Like, huh? What are you talking about? You already got found guilty of being a fraud in this case.
The witness just admitted that we won the trial. And the judge should end this trial immediately. Thank you.
Like, bro, why is he even there? I'm just looking at a couple other things that I might pull up. All right, what's Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about? What's she talking about on the floor? She got something to say on the floor of Congress. What's she getting at? What's she working with? Marjorie Taylor Greene moves to censure Rashida Tlaib for leading an anti-American and anti-Semitic insurrection.
Speaker, pursuant to Clause 2A1 of Rule 9, I seek recognition to give notice of my intent to raise a question of the privileges of the House. The form of the resolution is as follows. A resolution censuring Representative Rashida Tlaib for anti-Semitic activity, sympathizing with terrorist organizations, and leading an insurrection at the United States Capitol complex. Whereas in May 2019, Rashida Tlaib said that she celebrated the Holocaust and felt a calming feeling when thinking about the genocide of millions of Jews. Whereas in 2020, Rashida Tlaib retweeted an illustration with the caption, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." And this Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO slogan, has been adopted by Hamas and calls for the elimination of Israel and death to all Jews. Whereas in September 2022, Rashida Tlaib, as a member of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, displayed her disdain for Israel, saying, "You cannot claim to hold progressive values, yet back Israel's apartheid government." Whereas instead of denouncing the horrors of Hamas, slaughtering Israelis, and demanding the release of all hostages held by Hamas, Rashida Tlaib stated on October 8, 2023, "The path to the future must include lifting the blockade, ending the occupation, and dismantling the apartheid system that creates the suffocating, dehumanizing conditions that can lead to resistance." Whereas Rashida Tlaib exhibited her hatred for America by reposting a message on October 12, 2023, blaming America for allowing the deaths of Palestinian babies at the hands of Israel. Whereas Rashida Tlaib led an insurrection at the United States Capitol complex on October 18, 2023, which put members of Congress, their staffs, and Capitol visitors in danger by shutting down elevators, stairwells, and points of egress while obstructing official business in both the House of Representatives and the Senate, including a Senate Foreign Affairs Committee hearing. Whereas the insurrection led by Rashida Tlaib was organized by Jewish Voice for Peace, which the Anti-Defamation League calls a radical anti-Israel activist group that advocates for a complete economic, cultural, and academic boycott of the state of Israel, and that believes Israeli policies and actions are motivated by deeply rooted Jewish racial chauvinism and religious supremacism. Whereas members of the Southern Poverty Law Center, a far-left nonprofit organization, were present at the insurrection at the Capitol on October 18, 2023. Whereas several insurrectionists at the Capitol belong to a group messaging chat called Global Intifada.
I'm over here looking for other stuff. I'm not even listening to her.
Which is the Arabic word for rebellion or uprising, and refers to a series of protests and violent riots carried out by Palestinians in Israel during the last century. Whereas by leading an anti-American and anti-Semitic insurrection on October 18th, 2023, Rashida Tlaib followed Hezbollah's orders to carry out a day of unprecedented anger following an explosion at a Gazan hospital, lying about Israel's responsibility for.
Okay, this isn't gonna do anything. It's not gonna change anything. It's not gonna carry any weight whatsoever. Absolutely not. But it worked for a little bit. You know, while I was looking for some other stuff for us to check out. Now, oh, thank you, Alyssa. You're my hero as well. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay, okay. Trump posts eye-popping rant at Maggot Haberman. I think her name's Margot or Maggie or something. Over coverage of his fraud trial. He's okay. So this was today. So he posted this today. He said,
Writer Maggot Hagerman of the failing New York Times wrote almost her entire fake story today about the Trump-hating judge's gag order. They love to silence me. Rather than the racist attorney general's star witness choking like a dog on the witness stand, Perry Mason, and admitting that I never asked him to do anything wrong,
Trump post on Truth Social.
He also admitted that he lied to Congress under oath. Again, brand new charges. That means they no longer have a witness or a case.
Because I say so. And again, this is not convincing anybody who isn't already a member of the Trump cult. It's just not.
She also failed to report that the Trump-hating judge refuses to respect or accept the appeals court decision reversing him. First,
he's calling her Maggot.
Maggot should focus her energies on corrupt prosecutors and judges whose hatred and bias is so great that they are unable to make a fair and reasonable decision. New York is crime-ridden and dying, but I will save it in 2024. It can't come too fast.
Oh, God. Oh my God, he's just... There's no words for Donald Trump. Absolutely no words. Now, we're going to finish off with this because I got to make a phone call in a couple of minutes. Christie, on what Mark Meadows' immunity deal means for Trump.
You know, Governor, we learned today that Donald Trump, he took the stand in this civil trial on his business holdings and what have you. He was also fined $10,000 for violating a gag order. What did you make of that?
He can't shut up, Neil. He can't help himself. It was so obvious that what he said, and then he has course, does what he always does, which is has his lawyers lie for him. Those lies were, as they always are, insufficient. And so he got fined another $10,000. Look, I'm equally disturbed by the post he put out regarding Mark Meadows. Now, look, the walls are closing in around him. I understand that, and more importantly, he understands that. I was there, Neil, in 2020 when Mark Meadows was chief of staff, regularly preparing Donald Trump for the debates against Joe Biden. And I could tell you that Mark Meadows was Velcroed to Donald Trump's hip in the White House at those times. And that means that Mark Meadows knows everything. Everything that Donald Trump said and did and ordered other people to do on his behalf, and just as importantly, everything he was told about the lack of facts to back up his contention that the election was stolen, yet he continued to act as he did then and as he does now. So the tweet that, or this post that he put up regarding Mark Meadows was clearly an attempt to influence and intimidate Mark Meadows, who we now have every reason to believe is a witness for the government against Donald Trump. His conduct is showing you, Neil, the walls are closing in on him. And the Republican Party needs to look at this and say, no matter what you think of what kind of president Donald Trump was, this is not going to be a pretty campaign if he is the nominee of our party. We need to pull away from the precipice here and pick someone who will actually make Joe Biden the focus of the next election, not Donald Trump.
You know, we are learning, to your point, that the former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, has entered into a partial immunity deal with the government. We don't know the details of that, to your point, Governor, but I was following this list of those who entered plea deals with the government: Sidney Powell and Jenna Ellis and Ken Cheesebro. You could already talk about Mike Cole, and that was some time ago, his former business partner. There's a lot of there, and I'm just wondering where you think it goes. I mean, these guys obviously have struck deals for falsely claiming that the 2020 election was stolen. So we know that they're more inclined to raise issues that could be problematic for the former president. How do you see it?
Well, it's really a problem when all of your lawyers have admitted to committing crimes. That's a problem. And it's a problem in two respects. One, what the hell kind of lawyers were you picking to have around you? And the answer to that is only lawyers who would agree with his ridiculous premise that the election was stolen. He couldn't get good lawyers. He told me that himself in December of 2020, that he had a hard time getting any good lawyers to work for him. And he wanted to know why that was. And at the time, what I said to him was, there are two reasons. One, you don't listen to advice. And two, you don't pay your bills. And lawyers aren't going to work for somebody who does either of those, let alone both. This is a guy who only picked these lawyers now who are obviously admitting to committing crimes. That's problem one. The other problem with that is that there is no longer any attorney-client privilege with him if part of those discussions were in the midst of committing crimes. There's something called the crime fraud exception to attorney-client privilege. And so the fact is these folks are going to be able to talk about everything that they discussed with him, and just as importantly, everything he was told by people like Pat Cipollone and Bill Barr, who have testified that they told him that he had no basis to be doing any of this stuff. And one of them warned him, you're going to be spending the rest of your life in courtrooms and around lawyers if you continue this, and they were prophetic.
Bro, oh my God, man. This dude, Donald Trump. And unfortunately for him, the election is still over a year away. Unfortunately for him. My attorneys got arrested. Yes, for Maggot. My attorneys got arrested. My ass got Make America Great Again. Again, my ass got arrested again. My attorneys got arrested again. Everybody's going down. Everybody attached to the Trump ship is going down. My people, thank you so much for joining me on this late stream today. A quick little stream. I got to make me a phone call in about 10 minutes. So I got to be ready for that because I'm putting together this nonprofit organization. Shout out to all the members. Thank you to everybody who joined our meeting on Sunday. But we're working on putting together this nonprofit organization so that we can fund our efforts. Our initial area of focus is going to be things like voter registration, voter education on who candidates are, how you can have access to accommodations if you need them. And, you know, if you live in a red state that makes it so that you got to have 15 IDs to vote and all these different types of rules that make it more difficult to vote, helping people to get around that. So that's what we are focusing on as a group first and foremost. And now we're going to take this hit, and then I got to get ready for this phone call. Woo! Peace and love to everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will be on tomorrow, and I'm going to be on Indisputable tomorrow as well. And I might be on the Power Panel, but we'll see. But tomorrow I'll be on Indisputable, and I will be streaming normal time. So thank you everybody for joining me, and I will see you soon.